Good morning, and welcome to another day of Big Pats Under the Hood. And today we're gonna we're gonna go in a little bit to a easy, very easy situation that a lot of people have issues with when they are setting up a pre 4L60, 4L80 transmission. And when I say 4L60, 4L80, that means that is those transmissions that you have to have a computer to work with. You can either you either have a factory computer or you have a standalone computer that a lot of people buy. But the transmission I'm talking about today works for the 200R4, which is a BOP transmission, means that it will fit every engine that is made by General Motors. It'll fit a Buick, a Olds, or a Pontiac, or even a Cadillac. That's why they call it a BOP. And it also has the bell housing diagram for a Chevrolet as well. But the transmission we're working on today is a 700R4. The 700R4 was made from 1982 to 1993. Those when those transmissions were made. And those transmissions all have a fixed bell housing, which means the bell housing is cast into the case and you have no way of removing the bell housing. The removable bell housing came with the 4L60s, and I will show you one of those here. This is a 4L60 right here. And you can see by the 3, it means that it is a 2003 unit. It came out of a truck and it is one that I have as a good core, which means that it has everything to it. So what we're working on today is 700R4, but not in this, not in my Monte Carlo, because my Monte Carlo still retains the factory computer, which means that it will go into lockup at 45 miles an hour. It will shift into fourth, and then immediately when it shifts into fourth, it'll shift into lockup. So I don't have a problem with this unit. The kit that we will be installing today will be on my 82 short wheelbase that you see down the driveway. Now, this is a kit that I have used numbers of time on other vehicles. As you can see by the diagram, this is a 4L60. That's what a 4L60 looks at. So this is all computer control. This is a 700R4. And what you want to do is you want to either go to the third gear pressure switch or the fourth gear pressure switch. I always do the fourth gear pressure switch. And the reason why I do that, because that is the last gear that the transmission will shift into. And so by doing that, by using that gear there, when it goes into fourth, then as you can see, you install, as the kit tells you here, from Shift Technology. You got them from Monster Transmission, different other places, but they all work the same way. You will have a normally open pressure switch. Normally open means that the pressure switch does not make any, these two terminals here don't have continuity until pressure, lube pressure hits this switch. Some of the switches are 42 psi, some of them may be 30, some of them may be 60, but they're just about a oil pressure switch. As you can see, you will have voltage on one side of the switch, and you'll have voltage, and the voltage will go to one side of the switch, and then it will be open until the pressure hits it at a predetermined thing. When the pressure hits it, then it'll close the circuit on the switch. It'll close the switch, and it'll send 12 volts to the lockup solenoid here. And you know the lockup solenoid here because it sits right in front of the pump in the case. That's what controls the lockup converter in the lockup plate in the converter. Now here's the key here. You will have when you take off this pin, this plug right here, you will have an adapter. And that adapter was screw into the case. Make sure you use some type of Teflon sealant. Remember to wrap the sealant, if it's tape, in the direction that you're tightening it, that is turning. Then you'll have an adapter plug here. Use Teflon tape on that as well. And then here's your normally open switch. Remember, it's normally open because you don't want this thing to be closed when you crank the vehicle up. You want it to be open and stay open until you achieve fourth gear pressure here. And then this thing here, once this closes, it will send it to the lockup. It will send it here to the lockup solenoid. Now you can do something else. This is called a vacuum pressure switch. This thing works between 6 inches and 20 inches of vacuum. Now what you can do is you can put the vacuum switch in there, and see, it has the way for it to be wired. You'll have a ground on the common. You'll have a ground on the common. You'll have a normally closed that will go to one of the wires. That will go to one of the wires on the solenoid, and then the other wire on the solenoid will be here. Well, on the system that I put in, I only have one wire. It's grounded in the case, and then you have the wire outside. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do away with this switch here, because I have a cam inside of that engine. And when you have a cam in there, what end up happening, you won't get as much vacuum as you need for this switch to work. But if you go it on and just use the regular mechanical switch that goes into the fourth gear port, then what happens is you won't have to worry about erratic behavior of this vacuum switch. As soon as fourth gear pressure, line pressure comes on, then this switch here will work. It will activate the solenoid and you will have lockup. It'll be just that simple. So we're going to do away with this part of the switch. Now, if you wanted to buy the vacuum switch, this is the part number for the vacuum switch here. And they have different ones, but this is from Shift Technology. You want the lockup switch. This is an Amazon part, which comes with everything you need here, as far as the switch, the adapter, the wires, and all that. Now, it's very easy. You put the switch assembly in the case right there, and you wire it up as such. You can put you a toggle switch in there to control it, or you can find a switch 12-volt source that comes on when you turn the key, and you can attach it there. You can attach it right there. If you want to put an inline fuse, you can. And then on the other end of the transmission, you will go to the plug. And the plug for that, if you're looking at your pigtail on your transmission, the plug for that will be the plug that is closest to the little lock. Where the lock is at, the very next plug next to it, which will be terminal A, that's where you want to run that to. So, good morning, Miss Hudson. How you doing? How you doing this morning? So just want to show you all that. That's a way in which you can put a overdrive transmission, whether it be a 200 R4 or 700 R4. This only relates to that, to a 200 R4 and a 700 R4, in order to put those transmissions in a vehicle that either does not have a computer or you want to bypass the computer. And that's what that is for. As always, subscribe, like, share, comment. I'm going to get this thing installed, and when I get it in, we're going to do a test drive of it and show you just exactly how it works. As always, thanks for your continued viewing support. Have a great day, and I'll get you on the next one.